He didn't make a sound. Nor was Hanrushu interested in hearing what he had to say. With her eyes fixed on the big screen in front, she continued to speak warmly and calmly, but every word, it was as cutting as a knife. I implore you to give up because there's something that you probably don't know. It's that the Kshaw family and Kiao family had formed an engagement long ago. So to speak, you probably don't quite understand, so let me put it simply. Jiamu and Kiao have an engagement, which is to say that Kiao is Jiamu's fiancé, and will marry him in the future. Moreover, I think there's something you probably don't know, Kiao and Jiamu are mutually in love. What's more, you're an illegitimate son who wants everything but has nothing. What right do you have to love Kiao? Don't forget, Kiao is the daughter of the Kiao family. Even if her parents have passed away and she's just an orphan now, it doesn't change the fact that she is the daughter from a wealthy family. Never in your life will you be able to touch the inheritance and shares in the Kiao family business that she owns. But it's different for our Jiamu. He is the Kshaw family's future heir. Kiao and him are a perfect couple and a match made in heaven. As Hanrushu said this, Lu Jinian saw Kiao and Jiamu singing a duet to an old song, Hiroshima, My Love, on the large screen in front. The big screen had no audio, so he couldn't hear them sing, but he could see that the two of them were standing side by side. Just like Hanrushu said, there was a feeling of a perfect couple and a match made in heaven. I called you here tonight, and said so much, to tell you. Don't go pining over Kiao. I believe your mother must have told you before. One must know how to show gratitude. Don't you forget that the only reason why you have survived until now is because of my son. Jiamu donated his bone marrow to save your life. If it weren't for my son, you would have died early on. Unless you would return the favor by stealing his lover. Hanrushu said everything she wanted to say in one breath. There seemed to be nothing more she wanted to say to him, for she turned around and left the monitoring room. When she reached the door, it looked like she suddenly thought of something. Her footsteps stopped, and she slowly turned around. She stared into his eyes with utmost hate and contempt. You know in your heart just how Jiamu has treated you all these years. I hope you don't become the third person, just like your mother was. The moment Hanrushu finished speaking, she turned around, and leaving only the clear sound of high heels trotting farther and farther away. Lu Jinian completely forgot how he left the clubhouse that night. All he could remember was that when he snapped back to reality, he was already standing in the heavy rain like an idiot. His hand was clutching onto the fresh flowers without petals that someone had thrown away, and the card that was ripped in two. Then he saw Kiao and Hao, Kshaw Jiamu, and the others leave the clubhouse. Kiao and Hao seemed to be drunk. Kshaw Jiamu carried her on his back. He stood very far away in the rain, as he stared at their backs. After thinking over and over again, he thought about why Kiao and Hao studied to get into the first class from the third class, and why she wanted to go study in Hangzhou but stayed in Beijing. So it was all for Kshaw Jiamu. That night, he walked mindlessly around in the rain for a very long time. The next day, he had a fever and locked himself in a hotel room. He spent 7 days and 7 nights in bewilderment before completely waking up,